Howdy, my name is Anne McCarthy, and this is a talk on exploring WordPress 5.9. To start, thanks so much for having me. Time is so precious, so I really appreciate that you all are spending some with me. I promise I'm doing everything I can to make this as worthwhile as possible. As a quick note, I am recording this in late November, so some things might have changed by the time this talk is presented. With that in mind, though, let's dig in. So who are you? As mentioned, my name is Anne McCarthy, and I live in the United States. I'm a developer relations wrangler working at Automatic, and I'm a sponsored WordPress contributor focused on building great relationships with developers. I'm specifically spearheading the full siting outreach program, which we'll hear about more later. I use the pronouns she, they, so feel free to use either. I've also been using WordPress since 2011 when I was a freshman in college and I worked at the university. So just so you know what to expect from this talk, let's pause and get a little bit meta to talk about what this talk will cover. First, we'll go over some high-level features of 5.9 before going into each bucket of features one by one with quick demos for each so you can get a sense of them. Following that, we'll put the pieces together with a longer demo, tying the features together and end with some quick, frequently asked questions that I often have heard. By the end, you should also have an understanding of what is coming to WordPress 5.9, how it might impact you, and different features to get excited about. As a quick reminder, WordPress 5.9 was originally set to release on December 14th. It is now set to release on January 25th, 2022. So what's coming to WordPress 5.9? At a high level, these are the features to expect from the release. Let's run through them quickly now before going into greater depth. So with this release, you'll see the official introduction of block themes and their various flows to edit templates, template parts, and more. As a reminder, block themes are themes made entirely of blocks and designed around full site and capabilities. This means they allow you to edit all parts of your site. There's a new default block theme, the 2022 theme, that for the first time ever is a block theme as mentioned. So this will bring all the new capabilities of editing all parts of your site to more parts of the WordPress world by having it as a default theme. Very excited by it. There are also 30 theme blocks that will be included in this release that you can use to build all parts of your site. Because there are new parts of your site to explore, new blocks had to be created in order to allow you to actually customize those pieces. There's a new styles interface that builds on the work of 5.8 by providing an actual interface for folks like yourself to set specific files. So 5.8 provides some foundational stuff. 5.9 actually gives you the interface to make those changes. There are various new design tools, including border support, block app support, dimension controls, and more. As you'll soon see, all of these tools combined can help you do some pretty cool things. There are some pattern enhancements to make it easier than ever to find ready-made patterns to quickly build content. Very excited about some of the stuff that's coming with this release. And as always, there are both UI and UX improvements and various performance enhancements as well. So what are the benefits? For starters, this release will include all the great new features, enhancements, and gains from Gutenberg 10.8 to 11.9. So it's a lot of versions packed into this. This includes around 1,000 PRs, with about 600 being feature related and 400 being bug fixes. This alone is a ton to look forward to and benefit from. And this massive effort includes everything from a robust list view to make it easier to navigate your content, including dragging and dropping a collection of blocks, to design tools that will allow you to space button blocks exactly as you want to, as well as brand new blocks that will help you edit more parts of your site. Many of the newer features, though, like the styles interface and the navigation block, you'll only be able to access if you're using a theme that supports full site editing features. Most of these themes are what are called block themes that I referenced earlier. We'll talk more about them shortly, so don't worry too much if you're still unclear about what those are. The 2022 theme will also be the very first block theme too. So if you like using the default theme to explore WordPress, this is a great way to do so. In general, though, this marks a brand new era for WordPress theming. However, whether you're using a block theme or not, there's a lot to look forward to in this release. So rest assured that there are tons of benefits coming your way. Let's dig in a bit further and chat about block themes, as I've already mentioned them a few times now. At a high level, block themes allow you to edit all parts of your site. It does this by unlocking the ability to edit block templates and block template parts directly. This means that you can rely on the familiar experience of block editor to edit all parts of your site, from your header to your 404 page and more. You can even create custom templates if you'd like. At their simplest, they're made of templates, template parts, and a theme JSON file. For any theme authors out there, the theme JSON file is a configuration file that allows you to decide on settings and styling options for your theme. For example, you can do everything from set a color palette to determine what options are available for users. You can have custom branding. You can also do something as specific as turning off the duotone filter option for the cover block. So there's a lot of possibilities here. Let's jump into a quick demo now that shows just how powerful a theme.json file can be. In this clip, you'll see the 2022 theme transform with just a change in the theme.json files. As you can see, it's wildly impactful and powerful as it impacts so much of the visual experience. Kudos to Kel for this clip. So here you'll see the 2022 theme. You'll scroll up and down through the page so you can get a sense of what it looks like with the current theme.json file. From there, you'll see that there's just a theme.json file being renamed, so they're being switched, and the new theme.json file is being activated as a result. Now we'll refresh the page. Boom. Drastically different colors, different fonts, different experience. And as you scroll down, you can see even the duotone filter applied to the featured image and more. For the next quick demo, and this one's going to be fast, it's just going to show the styles interface and how you can make some quick changes to edit the visual aspects of your site. So it's a very fast video, so pay close attention. So you'll see you can open up the styles interface, go straight to colors, and this video will just show some changes to the background and some font, just how drastically different it is. All done. So now let's chat about theme blocks. So with new parts of your site to edit, new blocks had to also be created. Many of these were released in WordPress 5.8, like the query loop block, if you've explored that at all, the site title block and more. But this release marks the moment when there are more uses for these blocks than ever before. So the navigation block in particular, I want to call out because it's brand new in this release. It will allow you to fully control your site's navigation in terms of look, feel, placement, and the ability to build out more complex menus if you want to, thanks to the ability to add more than just links to the menu itself. It also comes with a responsive and accessible out of the box option that allows you to easily toggle on and off, whether you want the responsive menu on at all times or just when it's a smaller screen size or off in general. To start though, let's look at some demos. So the first demo will look at the site logo block and how it can be placed within a menu and moved around so that's exactly where you want. The second demo will show how you can use duotone filters on the new featured image block within the query loop block. So this is a new thing that's come to the featured image block, which is very exciting. And it's a convoluted way of saying that basically you can make your featured images really pop for your posts and pages when using the query loop block. So let's dig in. So this first demo, you're going to see a menu with a navigation block, add the site logo, upload an option, and just select this one. And these demos as well come from various designers, so props to them. So you can see you can actually change the size, and then from there you can move around the placements. If you want it far left, you can do that. If you want it right in the middle, you can do that. Very easy to change and make options and have various options for your menu though. From here, this is going to show the duotone. So again, using the 2022 theme, scroll down where your posts are shown using the query loop block. Just select the featured image block, and then you'll see these various options. So you can drastically change your appearance and have some pretty distinct looks. Awesome. Now let's chat about design tools. So a lot of design tools have been added for this release to help support all the effort around the interface of blocks and continue to improve the experience there. This includes introducing new features such as block gap support, dimension controls to set padding and margin and more, including things like flex layout support, typography controls. With these powerful tools though, you can arrange blocks horizontally or vertically, split them into columns, place a logo within your header, or quickly adjust your social icons for an automatic best fit. There are also even more blocks that you can use duotone with, as you just saw in the previous demo with the featured image block. And while it's really easy to talk about these tools at a high level and describe them, I think you really get a sense of how powerful they are when you see them in action. So I've included some extra demos, so let's check those out now. Keep in mind that these tools will also be available for many of the blocks outside of the theme blocks, meaning that they'll be available for all to explore, whether you're using a block theme or full siting features or not. So we'll have 3 demos for this section. The first will go through the power of border controls. It's my favorite demo. The second will go through the new block gap support that allows you to have more options with the layout of your social icons, which is a very practical example. And the last will show off the newly designed typography controls. And so you can see how you can create really distinct and cool look with your content. So let's dive in now. So here you'll see different block controls. So I'm actually going to pause this at varying points. It's really easy to actually miss out on some of the advancements. So if you see here, pause this real quick, you have all these different options. I know this is very unusual to pause a demo, but I want to just show off that at varying points in this exploration, you'll see really neat designs and just how quick and easy it is in the span of a 14-second video to create very cool different looks with ease. So I'm going to continue to play it. So for example, you can have lines, you can make the line thinner, you can add padding to rearrange the image. You'll see lots you can do here just with a quick demo. So now we're going to look at the layout support for social icons. So you'll scroll down, you can set the color, and then this is the block gap support. So you can align it different places, and boom, add block gap support to space them out. Awesome. Now the last one, very quick, just showing off some typography controls and the new design there. So let's say you're editing a post. You want to go in and add different options. You can tab through and select the perfect size. Very cool. All right, now let's talk about pattern enhancements. And this will impact everyone using WordPress right now, which is very exciting. So just keep that in mind whenever it comes to this section. So patterns continue to grow as a very crucial piece of the WordPress experience, allowing people to get started very quickly with great design options ranging from simple compositions all the way to full page layouts. Thanks to this work, in a few clicks, you can have a brand new header or call to action without changing your theme. And as part of this release, there are a couple different enhancements. One, starting with a curated feature patterns list. So now there's a new featured tab, so you can actually see patterns chosen by designers in the community for you to use. There will also be the option to submit your own patterns as a user that will launch alongside the 5.9 release in the block pattern directory. And also, to help browse this growing collection of design pattern, there's a new flow, the Pattern Explorer model, that will integrate with the pattern directory, and that allows you to more readily look through the different options. So let's look at a demo of this new flow now that helps you explore. It's very short. You'll open up the inserter, head to the patterns tab, and you'll see this new Explorer option. You can see the featured options there. And from there, you have this new model that you can actually use to interact and switch through the varying options. And you can just easily select whichever one you want to use and insert it into your content. Lots of neat options to choose from, as you can see. I want to click them all. Boom. Then you're all set and ready to edit it to your liking. So now let's talk about user experience improvements, or UX improvements. So with every release comes a new set of these improvements. And for this release, I wanted to call out a few specific items that I'm particularly excited about, including some list view improvements, an improved post-publish flow that allows you to quickly add a new post as soon as you're done with your current one, and then a rich URL preview that shows a preview of the item you're linking to in the interface. We're going to go through a demo of each of these now. I figured why not? And we'll start with the post-publish flow, leading into 2 list view enhancements and ending with the rich URL previews. You can actually get a sense of these. And again, like the other 2 options, this will impact everyone using WordPress, which is very exciting. And I also, again, want to give props to the automatic designers who provided many of these videos. So to start, after hitting publish, you'll now see this new add new post as soon as you're done. Next up, list view. So you'll see that you can actually collapse sections. So if you're navigating really complex content, you can collapse these different sections, make it easier to navigate between them. Next up, you can also use list view to drag and drop content. Boom, super easy. Finally, this will show the rich URL preview. Awesome. So to finally wrap everything up, let's put the pieces together. So now that I've gone through each of the varying overhead features that are coming to 5.9, let's actually talk about what the experience looks like when it's all put together. So this demo is going to be much longer. I think it's going to be at 6 or 7 minutes. And it'll go through the varying features that we've discussed thus far, but actually in a full flow so you can actually see them in practice. So without further ado, let's dig in. For context, again, I recorded this video in mid-November. So some of this might have changed by the time that this is being shown now. But I was using the latest version of WordPress using cutting edge features. And I was also using the latest version of Gutenberg when I recorded this using the TT1 blocks theme. All right, let's dig in. So at a glance, you'll notice that you can actually edit your header directly. So at this point, you'll see I entered in the header here, and I can also do the same if I scroll down and find my footer. So the first time you're actually able to dig into these parts of your site and edit them directly. So for example, the site title block, which is used both the header and in the footer, I can edit it to say my YouTube video. Or whatever I'd like. I can change this to be centered. I can change the actual size of it, all that good stuff here. We won't go into that now though, because there's too much to show off. From now, let's jump into styles. This is one of my favorite features coming to WordPress 5.9 when you're using a block theme. And this allows you to change everything from the typography to the colors to the layout on your site, as well as specific blocks. So if you click in here, you'll see all the blocks listed, and you can go in and actually customize them to your liking. So if you want the button block to look a certain way, you can set it up here. You can also set the typography, the colors. So for example, if I want to actually change the background, I can make it something like this, go black. For now, we'll keep it at white just because I like how classic it looks. And you can also see that there are some core colors coming in, and then there's also some theme specific that the theme can provide for you. So from here, we'll go back out. And just based on any of these changes, you'll notice that I can actually update this to say the title. If I had made changes in here, like for example, if I added my own custom color, you'd actually see these saved as well. So we'll say orange, hit done. Now I have my own custom color palette that I can use throughout the site. You can then hit save, and you'll see custom styles there. So for now, as I mentioned, you can actually edit your headers and footers. And there's also this new fancy mode that I can get into called the template part focus mode. So if I go here, I can actually edit the header directly. What I love about this mode is that I can drag it to be big and small. Included in this is actually, I want to show off the navigation block. And the navigation block is a new block that I mentioned is coming that allows you to change both a display of your menu and to add items to it. So in this case, let's say I want to add in a link to my contact page. I can do that here. I can also do cool things like add in the site logo or a search functionality. So I can add this in directly. I can edit it to my likings. Maybe I want it like that. I can also go into settings here. Maybe I want it a little bit smaller. I can do that here. And once I have it to my liking, I can hit save and actually go back. Before doing that, let's show off one of the newer features that is coming to the navigation block and one of my favorites, which is this overlay menu. So this actually collapses the navigation options into a responsive navigation menu. So in this case, I can have it so it just shows up when it's on mobile. You can test that here. You'll see it collapses into a little hamburger menu. I can also have it always on. So let's say I want that as part of my styles. I can have it always on, which is really neat. As you can see, there are a ton of options from typography to colors and more that you can set up here. Just know that there's a lot of options for customizations. And once you're ready to go, you can just hit back. And now you're back in the same template, the same homepage that you were editing before, now with the additional items added, which is pretty neat. And from here, let's scroll down a little bit. And you'll notice the latest posts in these posts listed here. And if I open up list view, you can actually see these are all powered by the query loop, which is a block that came into play in 5.8. There are some new features though that impact the query loop, including some additions of the duotone filter applied to the featured image blocks. This is one of my favorite features. If you've seen other videos I've done, I really love the duotone option. So for example, I can add this in, make them all grayscale. I actually really like how that looks, especially with the bright yellow. Could also add my own custom colors. So if I wanted to have the shadow set up, you can see my custom color that I added in earlier is listed here in global styles, which also shows how interconnected the style system is. For now though, let's keep it grayscale. And from here, once I have it to my liking, I can hit save and you'll see all the different options I've updated. And this is part of the multi-entity saving. Finally, one of the features I wanted to show had to do with patterns. And let's say I wanted to have another call for action here. I can actually go in, enter the patterns, and you'll see this explore option. So if I hit explore, you'll also notice the featured section here. And these are a set of featured patterns that have been pulled from the pattern directory, specifically to democratize design and allow people to have elegant designs on their site ready to use. In this case, I'm actually going to pull one from the buttons block, just a simple call for action. You'll see it's placed here. So in this case, I can also do cool things like add in another button block here. So I might say, join us. And I can customize this. I can make it an outline. I can add a nice border, drag it up and down. In this case, I'll just manually enter it. I can also make the width a bit wider. And from there, just to show off some of the more tools that are coming, there's some neat layout tools. So for example, if I wanted more spacing between, I can do that. I can also keep it centered, or I can align it different places. I can also change the orientation. So this is one of my favorites. In this case, I can have it actually vertical aligned or horizontal. I really like it vertical, so I'm actually going to keep it vertical here and close this out. From there, another neat feature that's coming to 5.9 that is worth mentioning has to do with list view. So let's actually open this up. And maybe, I have two different call for actions. I have a join our mailing list, and I have a get in touch, schedule, or visit. Perhaps I want to actually label these to make it easier to know which are which, because as you can see, there are two different group blocks right here. So in this case, I'm going to open this up here and go to advanced. I'm going to call this mailing list. And as I'm typing this, you'll notice it shows up here in list view with a label. And I'm going to do the same for this right here. I'll call this schedule. So now let's say I'm glancing at my content. I've been building out this homepage, and you know what? I'm like, I have this nice yellow color here. I actually really want for now the call to action to be more about contact us and join us rather than the mailing list. I'm good on the mailing list. I can select this and delete it from the list view. I can also collapse. So I can fold these down to make it easier to even see the different pieces of content as well. So let's say I want to move this up above the query loop. I want this above my post. I want that to be more in your face about scheduling a visit. I can do that as well. If I want to undo it, I can also just move it back down below, which is pretty nifty. But from here, hopefully this helps gives you a really good sense of what's to come in WordPress 5.9. As you can see, there's a ton of features, and I've hardly scratched the surface. I highly recommend jumping in to test yourself. And now that we've gone through the key features of 5.9 and various demos, I'm going to quickly run through some key topics and questions that have come up related to this release. So to start, when does this release come out? The release comes out January 25th, 2022. Why was the release date moved? As you all might know, the release was initially planned for December 14th, 2021, but was ultimately moved. At a high level, the decision was made for a few reasons, and it was a very hard decision to make for the release squad. Some of the reasons included the fact that the various FAQ features were too interrelated to easily remove or punt just individual pieces. Most of the issues raised were also achievable to fix and not huge, massive blockers like crashing sites or anything like that. And ultimately, delaying would allow for more sustainability for contributors after a really wild and long year. If you want more context, though, I wrote a personal post about why I voted to delay. I am the co-test lead for the release squad. So you can check out my post if you go to nomad.blog/FSE. You will see a link to the post called Why I Voted to Delay 5.9 if you want to learn more, and also get a sneak peek of kind of some of the issues that are being worked through now that the release has been moved. Is this the official launch of full siting? So as a reminder, full siting is a collection of projects and features that allow you to edit all parts of your site. So this is the first version that's launching, and that means it's offering a scaled back version, but this release does also include the core of the features of full siting, including styles, template editing, theme blocks, and more. So yes, you can see this as the initial launch of full siting, but it's very much a V1 with more comprehensive enhancements to come in the future in other releases. Will these new features take over my site? No, these are features that you can have to opt into, ultimately using a block theme or based on the themes that your theme supports. So you do not need to worry about this taking over your site. You would have to very intentionally take steps to use these features. How can I get involved in the future of WordPress? So join the Full Siting Outreach Program. So this is the program that I run that I mentioned previously. And as the name suggests, it's a program focused on full siting. Currently, it's in the form of a Slack channel in WordPress.org with curated calls for testing, feedback, summary posts, and various educational opportunities like live streams to people building block themes or just chatting about full siting. We're about 450 plus people right now, so it's a merry band. I very much welcome anyone to join who's interested. So if you want to join, here's a little brief blurb to summarize what I just said, and you'll see it says jump into the FSE outreach experiment and make Slack. If you have any issues joining and you want to join, my contact information will be at the very end of the presentation, and I'm happy to guide you there. Do I have to use all of these features right now? No, adoption can come when you're ready, as much of the more advanced full siting features require a block theme and may not be for everyone right now. This is totally intentional, though, to allow folks to adopt as they're ready and depending on their needs. So if you're excited about new things, you like to dig into the newest tech, this is great for you. If you're someone who'd rather wait and see how it all shakes out, wait and see. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation. I hope this helps you feel excited about what's to come with WordPress 5.9. Finally, if you want to stay connected, there are two ways. Nomad.blog is a contact form there. You're welcome to reach out. I'm also at @AnnZazu on Make Slack, and I welcome all of your pings. I'm not on social media, so if you try to find me there, that's for a reason. Thank you so much, though. I really appreciated sharing all the excitement and all the different details that are coming to WordPress 5.9, and I hope you now share the same excitement.